Hello children. Till now we have studied about the internal and external structure of the kidney. Today's class we are going to learn about the functioning of kidney, means how the functioning takes place if a person kidney is failed. That condition we call it as end stage renal condition. If you see the person, one kidney is failed, he can live with the single kidney. Means pair of kidney, if one kidney is failed, he can able to manage. Means the body can manage, filter the blood with the single kidney. But in some situations, the person kidney may damage. Both the kidneys are damaged. Then how this filtration of blood takes place? For that, there are two types of purification of blood is there. One is the kidney transplantation, means taking another person's kidney and replacing with the old kidney. So it is one process. And another one is the dialysis. Here the dialysis is done by the machine. Means it cannot be done at home. The patient must go to the hospital for the purification of blood. Depending upon the condition, depending upon the patient's condition, it may be twice or thrice, or it may be in alternative days. So depending upon the condition of the person, such as the patient has sugar, means diabetes or any other problems, must go alternative or thrice a week or sometimes twice a week. So depending upon the condition, this dialysis takes place. For each dialysis, it takes 3 to 6 hours for the purification of blood. It is nothing but same as the functioning of the kidney. How our kidney functions, means the blood is supplied with the arteries to the kidney. But here the kidneys are failed. So you can see in the picture, through the arteries, the blood is supplied into the dialysis machine. This is the dialysis machine. Supplied into this machine. It is same as the kidney. Here these are the tubes, and this machine is filled with the dialysis fluid, same as the blood, but except nitrogenous waste. When the blood reaches this machine, means enters the machine, this dialysis machine filters the blood, means the waste is collected in one bottle. So the waste is removed in this bottle, from this bottle, and the pure blood is filled in the another bottle, which again giving back to the person with the veins. Same as our kidney functions. So these are the tubes which are embedded in the dialysis. So if you see, the machine which we are used to filter the blood is called dialyzer. Dialyzer is a machine used to purify the blood. This process of giving the blood into, means connecting the blood to this dialyzer and again back to the person, we call it as hemodialysis. Here hemodialysis. Before giving, means before connecting the artery, from the artery the blood is connecting to the dialyzer, the blood is mixed with the anticoagulant heparin, called heparin, a anticoagulant substance named heparin. Why they are mixing these anti-heparin means not to coagulate the blood. If any injury happens, the platelets automatically forms mesh and stops the bleeding. Means clotting takes place. Same as here the blood is outside the person. So there is a chance of blood to clot. That's why they are adding heparin. So anticoagulant heparin. This heparin, it prevents the clotting of blood until again it is connected back to the person. So this, if you see, this is a machine. We can see this in the hospitals. So these tubes are embedded in the dialysis. These tubes will filter the blood. Next, again, when they are connecting these blood, means that filter blood, back to the person, again they will mix the anticoagulant, means they will remove the anticoagulant, that is the heparin, because it is a chemical. That's why again they will remove that heparin and connect it back to the person. This is how the dialysis takes place. Whereas for the kidney transplantation, if a person kidney is damaged, then the relative person means the blood group, whose blood groups are matches with the person, are closely relative, maybe it's their son or their close relatives blood group, means their close related person's kidney, they will take and again they will transplant it to the patient. So the single kidney will help to the person. If you compare the dialysis and kidney transplantation, this dialysis work for few days and it is expensive. For each setting, it may cost much. But whereas kidney transplantation, once a person is transplanted kidney, he may not go to doctor repeatedly. This is one advantage of the kidney transplantation. But there is a difficulty in the kidney transplantation. That is, he must get the kidney of the same related blood group. Means depending upon this condition, until the person gets the kidney of their relative blood, he will go for the dialysis. Okay? This is about kidney transplantation. Next, other pathways of, if you see, in our body, only kidneys not only filters the, not only kidney, there are different organs in our body which excretes a different substance from different parts of the body, like skin, lungs, intestine, liver, even saliva and tears also participate in the excreting some waste. In that first one, if you see the lungs, in the chapter respiration, we have already learned some of that how the process of respiration takes place. We are utilizing the oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. Why we are exhaling the carbon dioxide? Because it is a waste product which is not utilized for our body. There is no necessity of carbon dioxide in our body. That's why we are removing it. What happens if it won't be excreted out? It may lead to some other conditions. With the carbon dioxide, it is a toxic substance. So it may accumulate in the body and lead to some other conditions. Even some water also exhaled in the form of vapor when we are exhaled. So this is about lungs. Carbon dioxide and water are excreted through the lungs. If you see skin, it also excretes some waste salts in the form of sweat. The sebaceous glands secretes the sebum, which consists of waste products. So this skin also helps to excrete some water in the form of sweat and oil, which is secreted by the sebaceous glands. We call it as sebum. So the skin also helps in excreting some waste products. Next, liver. This liver helps to excrete the urochrome in the form of urine. This is a pigment which is present in the urine. This pigment, this urochrome is also excreted through the urine, and bilirubin and biliverdin, these are also excreted through the secretions of bile pigments. Next, intestine. Some excess amounts of calcium, magnesium and iron, these all are excreted, means which are present in the excess quantity. These are excreted through the feces, from the intestine. Means some waste or excess products are excreted through these organs. And some nitrogenous are also eliminated by saliva and also tears. Any dust particles or any salts, excess salts or nitrogenous waste are also excreted through the tears in the form of water along with in the dissolved form and through the saliva. Not only kidney, here these lungs, skin, liver, intestine are also participating for the excreting the waste products from our body. So the kidney is a primary excretory organ, whereas these lungs, kidney, liver, intestine, these are the secondary excretory organs. Got the one? The main things are excreted through the kidney. That's why we call it as primary excretory. Whereas the secondary, these organs we call as secondary excretory organs. If you see the evolution of excretory organs from unicellular to multicellular, same as for the transportation, we have learned from unicellular, the amoeba, the exchange of gases, have digestion, means extracting the nutrients, and also excretion is done through the process of diffusion. So depending upon the organisms from lower to higher, these organisms are developed. Different organs such as flame cells, green glands in cockroaches, in arthropods, in platyhelminthes, flame cells, in some organs, cnidarian, nephridia and metanephridia. These are the organs which helps for the process of excretion. If you see the higher organisms, human beings, such as human beings, the kidneys are the excretory organs. So depending upon the evolution from the unicellular to multicellular, each organism has its own excretory organs. Same as transportation and also the respiration. Children, by this we have done with the how the transportation takes place in the living organisms. In the next class, we are going to learn about the excretion in plants. Thank you, children. See you in the next class.